This conference will now be recorded.
Here we go. All right, we're going to go ahead and call the meeting to order at 5:30. Roll call. At-large Cummins.
Here.
At-large Poshton.
Here.
Ward 1 Coob.
Here.
Ward 2 Helm is absent. And Ward 3 Johnston.
Here.
Okay, Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, next item is approval of the agenda. Any additions, changes, or discussion needed for the agenda?
Motion.
Okay, motion by Cummins,
Second.
seconded by Johnston.
Johnston,
Yes.
Coob,
Yep.
Cummins,
Yes.
Poshton.
Yes.
Okay, moving on to the communications portion. There are no scheduled communications. Is there anybody present who would like to address the council?
I would, really quick.
Okay,
I'm putting on my chamber hat. So
okay.
I just want to mention that the Scarecrow Fest is going on the library lawn, and we have 22 scarecrows. It's the most we've ever had. The library has been amazing, letting us use it. It's a great spot, so people need to go out, and you can vote.
And they're very cute. I did go.
They're
I did walk
very
through there.
cute.
I didn't vote, but I walked through there.
Oh my
last
gosh,
Friday.
the talent that these people have, you guys, it's amazing. It's really cool.
Okay. Anyone else? No. All right, we'll move on to the consent agenda. These are routine items and will be enacted by one motion without separate discussion unless a council member requests separate consideration. Approval of the council meeting minutes of September 22nd, 2025. Approval of the special council meeting minutes, September 24, 2025. Approval of the library minutes, August 13th, 2025. Approval of the library director's report, August of 2025. Approval of payment to partners 524. Approval to Beanstar Kim for $5,402.20. Approval of the Tipton Revitalization Incentive Program reimbursement request for Darlene Ehlers, doing business as Tipton Chiropractic Center at 200 West South Street for $5,000. Approval of replanting of 13 downtown sidewalk trees. Approval of outside building repairs at City Hall. And approval of the claims register, which includes claims paid under the current purchase policy. Any of those items need to be pulled out for discussion or need discussion prior to approval?
I'll make a motion.
Okay. Motion by Cummins, seconded by Coob.
Coob,
Yes.
Cummins,
Yes.
Poshton,
Yes.
Johnston.
Yes.
Okay, moving on to city business. First item is discussion and possible action concerning to use federal airport entitlement funds to expand the airport's apron and reconstruct its taxi lane. Adam?
Hello, everyone. Adam Thompson, McClure Engineering. We provided a memo and a data sheet in your packet. Just wanted to provide some additional information about what we're looking at doing here and some of the benefits of moving this forward sooner rather than later. So the airport funding bucket is full right now. The airport is allowed to bank 4 years of funding from the FAA, and all 4 years are banked currently. So the airport's in a situation that if we don't use the oldest of those funds, it goes away. So there's an aspect of this discussion and decision on use it or lose it. The other thing that we have at play here is FY26, which is where we're looking at putting this project into, is the last year of the 5% local match. So by moving this project into FY26 rather than saving it for FY27, it saves the city a little bit over $33,000. But I do want to talk about what you'd actually see as like your budget impact for the current fiscal year that you're in right now. The design cost would be the only thing that we would undertake in the current fiscal year, and our design cost estimate is $60,000 to $65,000. So the local match for that portion is about $3,000. So that would be all that you'd really be looking at for the upcoming fiscal year as the local match contribution to it. It's kind of the high level fiscal impacts of it. In the data sheet, we do go into some more detail about why it's needed, why it's necessary. The PCI rating on the pavement is 31, which indicates that it needs to be reconstructed. The pavement out there now is asphalt, and it's really becoming a FOD issue, so debris. As the pavement is breaking down, it's causing debris, which could potentially be an issue for the aircraft at the airport. Additionally, the current taxi lane that goes around the edge of the hangar is too close to a support beam that comes out that supports the door. So by moving forward with this project, it moves the taxi lane into an appropriate distance away from the hangar building to stay away from any potential issues with that going forward. Brian, anything else you want me to touch on, or happy to answer any questions?
No, I guess I'd open it up to possible questions from the council. I think it's worthwhile to pursue when it's still a 5% match.
This was discussed
Yeah.
at airport committee meeting, and they were all supportive of moving this up a fiscal year and moving it along. And
Yeah, well, we don't have to give money back either. That sort of defeats the purpose of asking for it. If you don't use it and you have to give it back. I mean, and the more you do that, the less likely you are to get a federal grant moving forward if you don't use the money that they give you. So I think that's makes sense.
And it was discussed at the committee meeting as well, like the pavement that we're doing this year, pavement that we're discussing here. It's all pavement that would remain after the runway gets moved and reconstructed. So it's not an investment in pavement that gets ripped out in the near term. It's permanent pavement.
And it's asphalt.
No, it's going back as PCC.
Okay.
Going back at concrete. That's what the current apron is now. That's what we're putting back. So we want to continue with that pavement throughout the airport. And we think it'll provide a better life for the airport bus maintenance.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, motion by Cummins, seconded by Coop.
Cummins,
Yes.
Postian,
Yes.
Johnston,
Yes.
Coop.
Okay, moving on to the second item, discussion and possible action concerning South Spruce Street Improvement Project and damages. Rick?
Is there any-
I'm Rick Teed with Garden Associates. We're the engineering firm that helped prepare the plans and specs for South Spruce Street paving project.
EMA.
It was completed on they did the paving on September 2nd, so about a little over a month ago. And then they did the drives, about 5-foot aprons, 2 days after that on September 4th. I came up here to do a walkthrough, do final punch list, and noticed some of the edges starting to fall apart. I took a picture, and then we kind of went back and talked about it. I stopped back out on September 29th, so about 2 weeks later, which was last week Monday, and it got considerably worse. So I took more pictures, and as I talked to people, it's not a problem that's really been seen before. The edges are just crumbling away already, just a month after it's been paved. And then today I got here a little bit early. I took a picture of each of the panels because it just appears to keep getting worse. And so not a good situation. Something that definitely will recommend the contractor to mitigate these damages with, and not necessarily, I have a hard time trying to decide, which way to go, because it may not be the contractor's fault. It could be the material that he was supplied with. So that's something that the contractor will have to figure out on how to mitigate those damages and what to do moving forward. One thing that I would recommend the council to consider is taking cores, breaking those core samples. So basically hiring a company like Terracon or Team Services to come in here, take a physical core of the pavement and break it, and that would tell them some information, but then there's also a further examination they can do on the actual material. And that may tell us if the cement, the concrete mix is missing something that was shown to supposed to be there. So they did submit a concrete mix. We checked the submittals of what was the tickets that were actually delivered. Those matched up. So there's a few things that we did to try to, that we checked during the project, but for some reason this pavement is not holding up, and something does need to be done. The good thing is there is a maintenance bond, a 4-year maintenance bond, which does cover for damages to be paid out, to fix the damages. So the city does have some leverage with that bond. It'd be best if it could be managed outside of that, but that's kind of starts getting the discussion with the contractor at that point. So, so I guess right now, curious if the council would be willing to move forward with doing that further analysis on the pavement and managing that up on the city side.
Has there been any communication with this contractor
Yes.
about this and
Yeah.
their responsibilities to this?
Yeah, the initial response when it first started happening was, we have a maintenance bond, so we should monitor it, on an annual basis. I told them my plan was to come out here in November and check it again, but, so, yeah, they're aware of it, and, they don't, at this point, I haven't gotten any solutions from them right now, besides there's a maintenance bond on the project.
Okay.
We actually thought they might be represented here tonight, either in person or online.
There.
But apparently not.
Okay.
Mm-mm. Do we have any idea what it would cost for Terracon to do that?
I don't have that cost right now, so.
We
Is that-
we really have to do it. It should be us because you don't want it to be a chain of custody.
Right.
Issue.
Is that, whatever the cost is that something we can go after in the performance bond? I mean, is that something?
I would definitely submit it as.
Yes. Okay. I was gonna say that to me, yeah, there's some red flags.
Well, I think we have to do it just to check the box, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that.
Yep. I agree.
That's a good point about adding that to the expenses.
So yeah, and we'll keep track of those costs as we move forward on trying to manage this problem. So.
Okay.
It was a pretty simple project, so unfortunately it's not going.
It does look worse than it did 2 weeks ago because I looked at it after the League
Yeah.
of Cities meeting, and then I looked at it this morning because I know it was on the council agenda,
Okay.
and I think it does look worse. The edges look worse.
Well, I'm curious to see what it does after a freeze thaw.
Yeah, true.
All right, any other questions?
So we need to make a motion to go forward with the
Yeah.
testing with Terracon or whoever. I don't know who else does that kind of testing.
Team does.
Team?
There's a company called Team.
Okay. So we should ask for estimates from 2 different places, or just
Yeah.
whoever.
I can
Whoever
get,
garden
I
needs
get
it.
2 or 3 estimates.
Okay. So there's a motion from Coob to move forward. Okay. Motion by Coob, seconded by Cummins.
Postian,
Yes.
Johnston,
Yes.
Coob,
Yes.
Cummins.
Yes. Okay, thanks, Rick. All right, next item is discussion and possible action concerning pay application number 2 for the South Spruce Improvements Project to Eastern Iowa Excavating and Concrete for $50,690.65.
We discussed this with Doug Herman, and his recommendation is probably what you're already thinking, and that's to table it until this thing gets sorted out.
I'll make,
Second.
yep, I'll make a motion to table. Paying this.
Okay, motion by Posh and seconded by Cummins.
Johnston,
Yes.
Coon,
Yeah.
Cummins,
Yes.
Poschin,
Yes.
Okay. Discussion and possible action concerning recommendation to eliminate the gas peak shaving plant.
So I think the best way to summarize this without making it extremely difficult to understand is rereading the synopsis that I put in the agenda, and then I can answer questions or whatever following that, if there's any that you have. But the gas department will be making the recommendation to the council to eliminate the peak shaving plant. The plant has not been operational for 4 years now and possesses numerous safety concerns. The plant is no longer needed because of the changes made by Clayton Energy and their purchasing of gas that is allocated to us. Also, the current Sager system, developing solar field, the future proposals of a housing development, walking trail, and Montgomery Drive, and a possible pond area is not a safe situation to have a peak shave plant in that area. I've had discussions with Cedar County Co-op. They have offered us the option to sell back LP gas in the 30,000 gallon tank, as well as providing us the opportunity to purchase the tank from us. The plant is old and falling apart, and a lot of replacement parts are obsolete. With all of the safety concerns and no longer a need for it, it makes sense to eliminate the building and sell the product and tank. The money could then be used for some important pressing needs within the gas department and help with the budget. I guess the recommendation coming from the gas department is primarily based on safety, and it's not needed any longer. There was a day and a time that was very beneficial for the city to have, but the adjustments that the contracting company that we use in purchasing gas, we don't need to have that anymore. So.
Sorry, I'm thinking. Is there any other possible uses for that? I mean, it's just a lot of LP. I mean, I know that they're going to buy it back, but there would be no other purpose within the city to have that or use that.
Because I knew about the meeting tonight, and I talked to Nick Yarrington. He mentioned they would purchase that LP back at the price that we paid for it. And then we would establish something in the future as far as the sale of that 30,000 gallon tank. And we can decide that later. But they're definitely interested in that. He said if that was something that they would purchase, that they would handle everything, as far as moving it, going and getting it, disassembling all the connections. So we wouldn't have any worries in that regard.
I'm all in favor of getting that missile out of town, but it sounds like it's just being relocated to the outside of town.
Right, right.
That I don't know.
It's still farther away than the other one that's in the center of town.
Right. You know, I've been hearing this same conversation for the last 4 or 5 years that in order to get it operational and safely operational, we're gonna have to dump a lot of money into it, and it's not doing any purpose. So I'll make a motion to eliminate.
Okay. Motion by Posh, seconded by Coop.
Coon,
Yes.
Cummins,
Yes.
Poschin,
Yes.
Johnston.
Yes.
Thanks, Darren. Next item is discussion and possible action concerning the remount of a 2015 Ford F-450 Lifeline ambulance.
We've been unsuccessful finding another used rig to help us take care of our constant outages. Now our 2 ambulances that we have, the older rig, a 2009, 2010, whatever it is, I think this year it's been out of service more than it's been in service. And last time we got it back, it lasted 2 calls before it went back out of service again. And it just seems like it lives at full for one problem or another. A couple of our firefighters had recommended I stop by McGrath up in Cedar Rapids, and long story short, they got into the ambulance or non-business. A friend of mine that runs an ambulance service up in Dubuque, I spoke with him, who just done a rig. And he said he got good value for a price, and they had to turn around. I approached them and asked if we were to do something like this, what it would look at. They came back in the end with just shy of 170,000, I want to say. And that'd be the cost of purchasing a brand new chassis, trading in our current one to them, if you will, and then taking the box off of our rig and putting it on the new chassis, doing some upgrades and updates and everything else, and essentially extend the life of our ambulance and resetting that thing for another 10 years. I don't like the concept of us having to be in a spot where we need a rig yesterday, but we're hitting that frequently. We know that we've got a new rig on plan still for the 20 months out. But I think Clay would say the same thing. We are constantly worried that we have an issue. Our 15 that we have right now, there's a puddle of fluids here and there and everywhere else that just keeps on popping, and I don't think Clay can keep on putting fingers up in it to stop it. So I think this is a good opportunity. So finishing up with the McGrath case, the other thing that got me excited is they said if we were to pull the trigger today and they ordered the parts tomorrow, it would take approximately 2 months for the equipment to come in, and then they'd be able to start on our project that day. And it would take them 4 to 6 weeks to complete the project and then hand us back over the keys for the rig to be up and running, compared to a 2-year turnaround. So that's exciting. And then because of Linda, she found a loan opportunity through ECIA. We met with them, her, Brian, and myself. There's a conversation about it on Wednesday to hopefully solidify it, but they offered a 2% loan. We'll make this happen. They were excited about it. It sounds like they've done this in the past with another agency, not but helping procure a new rig. And they seem really optimistic about the opportunity. I'm hoping to be able to make that move forward. Questions for me?
And the likelihood that that loan would be approved?
The words out of Matt was, you should go ahead and get things on order. So I felt pretty optimistic about it.
I would, since we're talking about Wednesday,
Yep.
I would suggest we nail down the loan, see how they vote, and then go ahead and order it. I mean, your write-up, your synopsis seemed to make it contingent on the loan. And I assumed that would be the way it would play out.
It's up to you guys what you want to do. Just glad to be able to bring an opportunity that might be viable.
Just to kind of refresh everybody's memory. And this like one of 6 rigs in the United States that have this motor, this, and we're just so lucky to have it that has all the problems with it.
Which one?
Yellow. Yeah,
Yellow.
we're one of 7 bins in the
Yellow's
US.
just wearing out. The one with the motor that's questionable is blue.
Yeah. So
This is, we've talked about this. This is really kind of the direction a lot of people are doing now, a lot of cities, because it's a way to extend the life of your ambulance. You get the chassis new, that's the reliability factor. The box is good, they're at least good for 1 remount. And Yellow's is in really good shape.
well,
This is a great opportunity for the city to get basically a new rig
right.
for about half the money.
What I remember, the box and its contents are the most expensive part of the whole unit.
This would be the correct chassis for the box.
Yep,
Opposed to what we have.
Yeah.
It's the exact same chassis.
Yeah, we didn't bid out Chevy for the manufacturer, and then this group too. Don't try putting a Chevy chassis where a Ford used to be. The bolts don't line up, and you're gonna end up cutting apart your box.
This box is made for a Ford chat. That's part of the savings is that we're hoping to realize is if this works out, it might be the way we do it from here on out, or at least if the box is a good box. we can save some money.
Plug and
Save
play.
half the money. Why
Yeah.
wouldn't we?
I think the discussion we had two bids from,
Yeah.
one from McGrath, one from my local dealership. They're both very close to each other. Clay and I talked about this at length today. My recommendation would be that we go McGrath all the way through. That way it is a turnkey. We need this. You have every single tool that you need. You're the one saying this is what you need as well. There's no excuses. The product comes in and it just works. They seem to be really confident in their product, but I want to make sure that they don't have anything that holds them back on that.
And going back to the loan, the other loan that Brad mentioned was for another ambulance from another city, double the cost of this one generally. So if they approve that and expressed confidence in what this proposal is, I do expect that they'll come through for us. I would just feel better that they in fact do come through for us when they vote. And that's only a couple days away.
Wait, I don't think we should be ordering and spending a whole bunch of money until we know for sure that we have the money or are getting the money. I mean, if that's the question.
My only concern would be that if that were to fall through, you still want to get a new rig moving. We're in that, remember 6 months ago or whatever it's been, we were pretty desperate and uptight for a spot. I don't want to go back there again. And I realize money doesn't grow on trees and it's a lot to be discussing.
We would, if it falls through for whatever reason, we would just need time to figure out what the next financing plan is.
Right. I mean, you could still go through with this, just finance it differently.
Another thing that makes this kind of a timely issue is yellow needs some work done on it if we're keeping. So.
The parts are here. And actually, we're trying to beat winter. We want our four-wheel drive. That's why I'm
laying on the
going.
bench, we're trying to not do it. If we're gonna do this, it's still wasting money.
Mm-hmm.
But if we don't, we don't have to. It doesn't matter to me either way, but I don't want to do work on a chassis we're throwing away, basically, trading in. So.
Right.
And this is a fix for yellow, to keep yellow modern. This doesn't replace a new ambulance. I don't know where the discussion is on that. New ambulance still needs to be coming. That has not changed. This is a fix to get yellow frontline ready. It's 182,000 miles. It needs some loving. I mean, and this is a way, I think, to spend good money and get a good product, not spend good money and we just kick the can 2 blocks down the road. This is a fix for yellow for 5 years. So, I mean, but don't think this replaces the new one that we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
That still has to happen. I mean, that should still be in the queue to be built, because that takes 2 years. I mean, that hasn't changed, so. And it really all boils down to what level of service we're gonna provide, because I'm telling you, 180,000 mile rigs are hard to keep on the road. They're expensive to keep on the road, and they're hard to keep on the road. And another newer, having these things staged, if it takes 2 years to get the next new one, that would actually be perfect if we could do this with yellow. Because now we don't have 2 new rigs in the same year. That's not what we want. And we don't want to get to where we're almost there in the need category, but we want to stay out of that category. So timing is a little bit of the essence too.
I would move that we move forward with trying to secure the loan and getting this project started.
Second.
Okay.
But what does that mean for if we don't get the loan secure? I mean, where does this motion go, I guess, is what I'm saying.
I think we would probably have to investigate other loan options.
Is that what you're thinking, Ryan?
Yeah.
This one doesn't go through. There's other loan.
Yeah.
And then it would just come back to us?
Yeah.
I guess that's what I'm asking. Would it come back to us?
It depends on your preference. If you wanted to go ahead because it's a good method to use, you could still go ahead. I would like a little time to know how the alternative financing would go. But if you want to go ahead because it makes sense to just the idea of new chassis,
Right.
I would say go ahead, knowing that we're going to find something.
Okay. And do we need to put a number out there as far as percent for loan? Do we need to put a cap of any sort there?
Well, the actual loan would come back. You know, whoever we're borrowing from would come back to the council.
Okay.
Okay.
I did second.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna leave the motion as it was originally stated. So motion by Coob, seconded by Cummins.
Cummins,
Yes.
Poston,
Yes.
Johnston,
Yes.
Coop.
Yes. Thank you.
Thanks, Brad. All right, moving on. Discussion and possible action concerning assisting Hardacre Board with the theater project. Is that Linda? O'Brien's going first.
I'll go first. I'll go second.
Well, you know,
He doesn't know where to go with this first.
I was pretty actively involved with the Hardacre in my first few years here, and then I was pretty inactively involved for a while because I was seeing it as more or less the board's project. You know, that we had gotten them to a certain point, and now they could take over. But working with an all-volunteer board on a project of this scale becomes difficult. And we have public grants in there from both the city and the county. I'd like to protect them and see them be successfully finished. I'd like to see the Hardacre, you know, start up again and maybe become more active again. And I think in this synopsis that Linda and I provided, if we can help them over the next few months for a limited amount of time and limited capacity when it comes to some of these examples, 1 through 6, I'm hoping that we can make some progress on seeing this thing through again. Because we're thinking that the grants the state has allowed up these extensions, we're probably in the last year of seeing that. And so if we don't get it jump-started somehow, to jump-started somehow, we think we have to start now.
The grants are very complicating, first of all. So Brian and I collected a lot of data today with invoices and scope of work, and so we're going to be going through all of that. We need the theater. I guess that's the bottom line. A few weeks ago, I went with Terry, and there was a couple of other people that went with Terry to the theater. One of the things that we were looking for is because the board would like to have some tours, and they're Toodaloo. Fire. Yeah. And so one of the concerns was the balcony, the structure of if it was safe. And so there has been a structural engineer that's been there. I don't know if Terry's received the report yet or not.
No, I haven't.
Okay, so that has to be given to him. There's a lot of things that can be done, and if the board approves, the Hardacre board approves, we need to scale some things down. Just toured the theater in Brooklyn, Iowa not too long ago, and we just got to scale some things down because the state wants this project done in a year. And we have had extensions, and the state's been very gracious about extending those, but we got to get the project done, and it needs to be done in a year. And so we want to help. We want to help and get this to the finish line because it's been going on for quite a while. Yeah. So, and Brian and I met with the board last week, And we talked about all of this. They agreed with this, and we said that we had to bring it to you because it is going to take some of our time.
We're hoping to get this to a basic project. And hopefully by doing that, if we can lessen the cost of the project, hopefully we lessen the amount of further fundraising that has to be done. Fundraising has been the difficulty, I think, because nobody there is a pro at fundraising.
No.
You know,
And that's hard.
yeah.
Fundraising is hard.
Yeah.
But we.
In our proposal, will not go into fundraising.
No, and that is made very clear on this agenda item. But there are some things I think that we can help expedite the project a little. I mean, we're going to do our best. And started today right away with Christy and trying to sort through some things and scope of work and what we can use with matches with the state. And it's complicating and it is going to take time. But again, the Hard Acre is a staple in our downtown. It's a very important building. So
I think at this point, and correct me if I'm wrong, just from my assumptions of the last few meetings I attended, I mean, we need to get it to a point that it's operational. Doesn't mean that additional work can't be done moving forward down the road.
Right.
We just need to get it operational
right,
Exactly.
at this
that's
point.
correct.
And
You're not going to get more money until you get it operational.
Right.
right.
I mean, you're
Right.
not.
That's right. That's right.
So.
And we know that.
Mhm.
And so we just want to hit the ground and start running here a little bit. I guess we can't worry about like twinkle lights and things like that. We have, Brooklyn was a great example. That building was falling down. So they had a lot of money that they had to put into to secure the building. But I can say the Hard Acre Board has done a lot. So you've got the roof, you got the tuck pointing. Those were very expensive items. They got the apartments done, the marquee is done. There's many, many things that are really good that have been done. And now we got to get to the finish line. So I'm hoping that you will agree that if Brian and I can help just a little bit, get this expedited a little more, that would be great.
I do agree.
I guess, do we need a motion?
Yeah, was that a motion?
I'll
Abby?
make a motion.
Okay. All right. So motion by Cummins, seconded by Johnston.
Pashtian,
I need to abstain. I didn't hear anything.
Johnston,
Yes.
Coop, Cummins.
Yes.
Okay. Next item is discussion and possible action accepting the amended candidate search timeline along with considering the city manager's offer to extend his last day to a date such as February 13th.
I don't care. I put it on there. I included the revised timeline that Hinson Consulting Firm had done. With that, the original timeline had the candidate selection process started in August. So we're just about a month behind. So this is putting the end date closer to February. They had approximately February 16th. So with that, we're asking if that's okay, if we can approve that. And then with that, Brian had given notice to end December 31st to have his final retirement date. So since the process is changing, he's maybe looking at possibly changing his date,
Well,
or has offered.
I was assuming that when I first gave notice in July that someone would probably be on board in January, maybe the first half of January. And Hinson made a point that they don't really do much in the way of recruitment around the holidays because it's kind of a dead period for that type of thing. So that got their timeline into the middle of February, and I didn't really want to see the people I work with have to make up for the things that I do for a 6-week period. If I could stay on a bit longer, I'm willing to do that. And they've always been over the top with their support for me. And so I thought that I would offer this for them. I have to add, there are a lot of people on the city team that I think are more important than me in a lot of ways. I'll tell you, the ladies that we have that work at City Hall, my previous city, I would see rivalry and arguments and things like that. I've never, in over 8 years, I've never seen that here at Tipton City Hall. They've just been great to work with. I know that, you have your ups and downs with, on our team, like a department heads every once in a while, but it's nothing that doesn't get worked out. There's a good group here, and if I can help out by staying on a few weeks more, I'm willing to do that if the council is willing to let me do that.
I'd move we accept the amended timelines and try and allow them to move on.
February of 2029, thinking.
Sounds good.
Does that work
gotta
for
check
you?
with Julie.
I'll second on that.
See how you check with his wife.
He's got to ask Julie first.
Let's see how your interviews go.
I will second that.
Okay, so I have a motion from Coob and the second from Cummins.
Johnston,
Yes.
Coop,
Yes.
Cummins,
Yes.
Postian,
Yes.
Okay. Next item is resolution number 100625A. Is the resolution approving application agreement for membership in the Iowa Public Power Agency.
Yeah, this is a basic part of the process that we've talked about in being a part of this group and being an investor in this group. So all the cities and utilities that are looking to do this are looking at the same motion, same wording.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, motion by Postian, seconded by Johnston.
Coop,
Yes.
Cummins,
Yes.
Postian,
Yes.
Johnston,
Yes.
All right, next item is closed session as permitted by Iowa Code sections 21.5 subsections 1A, 388.9 subsection 1, and 21.5 subsections 1K. The council at this time goes into closed session to review or discuss records which are required or authorized by state or federal law to keep confidential, to discuss proprietary information and information required by a non-customer contracting party to be kept confidential pursuant to a non-disclosure agreement, which relates to electric transmission planning and construction and critical energy infrastructure, and to discuss information contained in records in the custody of a governmental body that are confidential records pursuant to section 22.7 subsection 50. Is a motion to open closed session?
Motion.
Ooh, Cummins got it. Cummins, seconded by Postian.
Cummins,
Yes.
Postian,
Yes.
Johnston,
Yes.
Coop,
I feel like there's got to be a quicker way to say all that.
Approving joint
This
development.
conference will now be recorded.
Should I redo that?
What was that?
All right, moving on. A resolution number 100625B is the resolution approving joint development agreement and payment of the initial payment required therein.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, I think
Like
Postian
deer
got
in
the second.
headlights.
So, yeah. Motion by Johnston, seconded by Postian.
Postian,
Yes.
Johnston,
Yes.
Coop, Cummins.
Yes.
Okay, move on to department head reports. Yeah, anything, Lisa? Okay.
I'll have a more formal write-up, I'll get the press release, but we did have the disposition for a case that our sergeant detective had been working on. It actually started November of 2022 when there were arrests made from just a traffic stop. And we had 2 people go to federal prison during that one eventually. So then all of 23, 24, based on that drug trafficking, if you want to call it that, we had somebody sentenced to state prison for 10 years about 2 months ago. And this person's guy just went to federal prison for about 11 years. So they had to do at least 80% of that. And they were bringing in a lot of drugs. I'll have the official press release, but it just takes that long because they've got to do, there were confidential informants, they had to go through grand jury stuff, and it's nice that it finally can go ahead. And so out of that one traffic stop, 4 people were initially arrested. There were like 33 different charges, and at least 5 people have gone to prison and 3 to federal prison. So people say it doesn't happen in Tipton, and it does. It's kind of a cesspool sometimes. But
yeah, good work.
Good ending to that. So just wanted to bring that up, and I'll send out the press release when I do.
Thanks. John, did you have anything else?
Are you gonna talk about solar again? Yes.
I guess you're up.
We had a solar meeting on Monday.
Yes.
And I think a lot of clarity was had. We've gotten done with our part for right now. We've crossed the road with all the interduct we've needed to go from the transformer at the gas plant across the road to where we have our transformer. We got that basement set. We left it open on one side for Roth Alliance, what they call it, to get their piping in. French drains were being dug in today.
Yeah, so they're French trains?
They're French.
Yeah.
Make sure they weren't Spanish, they were French.
Good.
Tell the accent.
All the supports for the solar arrays are set.
Drove all the pylons with it.
Yeah. That was interesting to see that. It's all laser, double laser. Like John said, you've got the trenches all done for the French drains, and they're half full of rock. So I think we just waiting on rock now, and I think I talked to Zach Peterson out there today, this morning, and seems leveling off wet dirt, and they're gonna start putting, once the rock's all in, they're gonna go ahead and start putting the topsoil back down.
Is the safety fence up yet?
No, the fence is not up yet. One thing I would like to recommend, and I need to talk to Steve, he's left already, but maybe putting some signs up there now for public access. A lot of people that drive back here, well, they don't come for it.
Yeah, yeah.
Or farmers.
Yeah,
I can picture that.
yeah, so.
Well, that's why I asked about the safety fence, because I drove out there last Friday and there was other people.
Are
that
you
were-
a looky-loo?
I was.
Now we know what the
Yeah, and it
problem
was
is.
not appreciated by the contractor, frankly. I had to tell them who I was in order for them to actually be pleasant.
Yeah, I'll give Randy a call, see when he's gonna put up the fence.
Well, that's just what I'm concerned about is there's people that are driving out there just looking and gawking, and the
Yeah.
safety fence isn't up.
I know they
So-
got
That makes sense.
on the north side, they had less than that slope down a little bit there by the beams, and waiting for the beams to get backed. So probably won't be able to put a fence up there right away, but even if we just had a couple signs there, you know.
Not for public access or something,
access
yeah.
or whatever. Brian, don't like everybody driving back there, it's, treatment plant back there either, so. But, yeah, that's really all I have. They're still looking at the end of October to have all those panels set for the solar array. There's quite a few panels out there, was it 170? Something like that. Yeah, so then after that, it's just plug and play.
Yeah. I said, once the pylons go in, it goes pretty quick, so.
Nice.
We'll see.
Exciting.
The green space. Concrete poured. plumbing's all done. I think, Mike Wade, I think he's gonna start with the students like on the 13th. So I'm gonna meet with him there. And, they're going.
Very good.
And at the next council meeting, I hope to have a list of the last 5 houses. 4 to be salvaged, 1 to be torn down.
Yeah, we'd like to get those RFPs moving.
Yeah.
And try to get them. Melissa's smiling at me like, yes, you will.
Yeah, and on the rest of the houses that we have already sold, we're just waiting on it. I think, Aaron's got to get a couple pipes, dug up for gas before we can sign off on the demo permits. There's like 2 of them now that are left. 801 Locust and 54 Walnut. He just needs to get that done. He's gonna get that done either tomorrow or Wednesday, and then contractors are ready to tear them down. We've got the asbestos siding off of them, taken away, done, so it's go time.
Nice.
Them down.
It's good. People need to see stuff happening.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, and then just down from 801, 1 block down, they've got that house up already. They're doing rough-ins in there already, so.
Yeah.
And Mulberry should be going up pretty soon, right?
Slab on grade house. Bedroom. Yes,
Yeah, that's good.
it fits in the neighborhood good, I think. So,
And the one at,
105 Mulberry.
That should be going up pretty soon.
Spruce and Spruce and Third.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, they got their roof on now, and that's
They're-
Christian's working right.
Right, they're
Yeah.
working on it, they're actively working on it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Garden that lives next door is very
Hmm.
happy. Very happy.
Yeah, with the Sorgan Price house, they're putting the siding on right now, all new siding. They did replace the roof already also. So, I mean, like Lisa says, getting that thing looking nice on the outside, then.
Exactly.
Make everybody happy. Yeah. So,
Stuff in the powder.
the one on 105 Mulberry, basement's in, plumbing groundwork's done. I talked to her today, they're gonna hopefully pour the floor this week in the basement, and then they can start framing. We'll get something up there also. So,
Yeah.
things are moving.
Yeah.
Took a little while, but nice to start seeing some new roofs pop up there.
And she's gonna demolish the other 2 right before winter.
Yes.
8th Street
Jack
and
Peterson, I think, is contracted to demolish that. He's sort of fighting over, I think he's pretty busy right now because, the old granary down there on 7th Street, I think it is, needs to come down for Don Lamb. And, Peterson's supposed to do that also. I talked to him about that also today, so. It's moving, sometimes slower than it should have been.
Okay. Council, anybody have anything? Ryan, do you have anything? No? Melissa? No? Okay. I don't have anything either. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second. Okay. Motion by Ashton, seconded by Cummins.
Johnston,
Yes.
Coop,
Yes.
Cummins,
Yep.
Ashton.
Yes.
Okay. Meeting adjourned. Thanks, everybody.
I did too. I told my wife to be